In the 1970s, before streaming, social media, or even the rise of cable, variety shows ruled the airwaves. They weren't just entertainment, they were cultural events, weekly showcases of comedy, music, fashion, and fearlessness. These trailblazing shows didn't just reflect pop culture, they defined it. Join us as we revisit 10 trailblazing 1970s variety shows that reshaped entertainment and left a legacy still echoing today. 1. The Carol Burnett Show. By the time the 70s rolled in, the Carol Burnett Show had already planted its flag as a television institution. But what happened during that decade cemented its legendary status. Carol Burnett wasn't just a host. She was a comedic force of nature, flanked by a dream team of performers like Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, and Vicki Lawrence. Week after week, they delivered outrageous sketches, poignant parodies, and musical numbers that blurred the line between chaos and genius. Whether it was the gut-busting Gone with the Wind spoof or a teary-eyed good night with the audience, Burnett brought humanity and humility to stardom. The show didn't just make people laugh, it empowered female comedians, pushed boundaries in sketch comedy, and turned live flubs into gold. For millions, it was a comfort ritual, a shared laugh across generations. It showed that variety could be smart, silly, soulful, and still soar in ratings. Its echoes live on in modern sketch shows, but none carry the heart quite like Carol's curtain call. 2. Soul Train, launched by the visionary Don Cornelius. Soul Train wasn't just a variety show, it was a cultural revolution on rails. At a time when African-American artists were often sidelined by mainstream TV, Soul Train gave them center stage and a soul-powered spotlight. Every episode pulsed with funk, R&B, disco, and later hip-hop, offering performances from the likes of James Brown, Aretha Franklin, and Marvin Gaye. But the real magic? The dancers. The Soul Train line became a symbol of freedom, individuality, and style, turning unknowns into icons and dance floors into history. With Cornelius's smooth baritone and cool confidence, the show was both fun and fiercely important. It didn't preach politics, but it quietly revolutionized representation, giving Black America and the world a weekly celebration of Black excellence. From bell-bottoms to breakdancing, its influence on fashion, music, and dance reverberates even now. There's never been another train quite like it. And that's the truth. 3. The Sonny Cher Comedy Hour. What started as a last-ditch effort to revive a fading pop duo turned into one of the most beloved and stylish variety shows of the decade. The Sonny Cher Comedy Hour reintroduced America to Sonny Bono's dry wit and Cher's magnetic presence, wrapped in sequins, sarcasm, and undeniable chemistry. Their dynamic was both comedic and romantic, giving audiences a fly-on-the-wall look at a marriage that felt real, messy, and strangely aspirational. The sketches, often absurd, were matched only by Cher's jaw-dropping fashion, outfits that would redefine glamour for years to come. But it wasn't all glitz. Their show championed guest acts from funk legends to comedy newcomers, helping launch careers and reshaping what a celebrity couple could be on screen. When the pair divorced, it felt like the curtain closed on an era. Yet even decades later, their influence can be seen in every music-comedy hybrid and reality show couple who dared to do it all in front of the camera. They didn't just sing, they turned variety into a personal performance art. The Flip Wilson Show, as the first African-American to host a successful primetime variety show, broke barriers with every laugh. But Flip didn't just show up, he owned the moment, creating unforgettable characters like the sass-talking, wig-wearing Geraldine Jones, whose catchphrase, "The devil made me do it," became a cultural anthem. With a mix of sharp monologues, musical guests like the Jackson 5 and Stevie Wonder, and a killer comedic timing that was both sly and welcoming, Flip turned variety into a full-blown party. His easygoing style disarmed America's racial tensions without ignoring them. He simply made viewers fall in love with his presence. The show soared in ratings and earned Emmys, proving that comedy could be inclusive, stylish, and soulfully subversive. Flip didn't shout. He smiled. And in doing so, he helped rewrite the rules for what and who could shine on national TV. 5. Donnie and Marie. It was bubblegum pop wrapped in wholesome sparkle, and yet Donnie and Marie became an unexpected cultural juggernaut. Featuring brother-sister duo Donnie and Marie Osmond, the show combined musical performances, comedic skits, and a dazzling dose of teenage charm. Donnie was a little bit rock and roll, Marie was a little bit country, and together they offered a perfect blend of generational appeal. But behind the glittering backdrops and choreographed numbers, the show redefined how youth, family, and mainstream entertainment could mix. It spoke to an America searching for clean fun in a changing world, and it inspired a wave of family-friendly variety programs to follow. Their ice skating intros, elaborate costumes, and well-rehearsed banter became the template for future musical specials. Critics sometimes scoffed at its sweetness, but audiences tuned in by the millions. Donnie and Marie weren't just teen idols, they were America's variety sweethearts. And for a few magical years, they made Saturday nights shimmer. 6th Saturday Night Live. It didn't just change variety shows, it changed television. When Saturday Night Live debuted in 1975, it wasn't just another sketch comedy program. It was raw, political, irreverent, and live. Created by Lorne Michaels, it handed the mic to a new generation of comic voices like John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Dan Aykroyd, and Chevy Chase, letting them rip into pop culture with manic brilliance. Unlike other variety shows, SNL didn't care about being safe. It thrived on the chaotic energy of live television and often reveled in pushing the line. With musical guests ranging from Simon and Garfunkel to Patti Smith, it also became a vital platform for breaking emerging artists. Week after week, SNL mirrored the nation's pulse, its anxieties, its laughter, its unspoken truths. It wasn't polished, but that was the point. In its early seasons, it turned comedy into cultural critique. The 1970s cast became legends, and SNL became a ritual, a revolution, and a mirror. It shaped the tone of late-night TV forever. 7. The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Though its most impactful years began in the late 60s, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour roared into the 1970s with defiant spirit. Hosted by musical comedy siblings Tom and Dick Smothers, the show mixed folk songs, sketches, and cutting political satire. But it wasn't just funny, it was fearless. They tackled the Vietnam War, civil rights, and censorship in an era when other entertainers avoided controversy. That boldness made them beloved among young viewers and a thorn in the side of CBS executives, who eventually canceled the show in 1969. Sparking public backlash and even congressional hearings. When the brothers returned briefly in 1975, they brought that same unfiltered honesty, now seasoned by time. Though short-lived, their revival reminded audiences how variety shows could be weapons of truth wrapped in laughter. They opened doors for political comedians like Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, and others. Their legacy? Variety as activism, comedy as courage. The Brady Bunch Hour. Just when you thought the Brady kids were done, they returned in full sequined glory. The Brady Bunch Hour took the squeaky clean family from suburban sitcom into surreal musical variety territory. Think synchronized swimming, disco renditions of pop hits, and family skits that blurred reality and fiction. It was outrageous, confusing, and undeniably hypnotic. Critics panned it, calling it a glittery misstep, but viewers, especially kids and teens, couldn't look away. There was something oddly endearing about watching the Brady family earnestly perform choreographed numbers in Technicolor costumes. And while it only lasted 9 episodes, it's since become a cult classic and a time capsule of 1970s kitsch. More importantly, it showed that nostalgia had power. Long before reboots and revivals became TV strategy, the Brady Bunch Hour tested the waters. Its campy energy and fearless reinvention proved that even the most traditional families could sing, dance, and sparkle in the spotlight. 9. The Captain and Tennelly Show. Soft rock's sweetest duo brought their romantic harmonies to the variety stage, and America listened. The Captain and Tennelly Show was built on the gentle chemistry between Toni Tennille and her famously silent husband, the Captain Daryl Dragon. With love ballads, breezy banter, and smooth grooves, they gave viewers a softer, more melodic version of primetime variety. Their hit, Love Will Keep Us Together, wasn't just a song, it was the theme of the entire show. Each week featured musical performances, comedy sketches, and special guests ranging from Gene Kelly to Kermit the Frog. But beyond the surface, there was something comforting about their presence. In a turbulent decade, they offered a soothing reminder that romance, music, and genuine affection still had a place on TV. Though it lasted just one season, their variety show captured a cultural moment where love really did feel like enough. 10. The Muppet Show. It may have starred puppets, but The Muppet Show was never just for kids. Created by Jim Henson, the series was a brilliant collision of vaudeville, sketch comedy, musical theater, and chaos, hosted by a talking frog with a dream. Behind the gags and googly eyes, the show delivered sly humor, emotional resonance, and a rotating cast of real-world celebrities who gleefully played along with the madness. Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, these weren't just characters, they were icons. Each episode was a variety spectacle full of unpredictable stunts and surprisingly poignant moments. It pushed technical boundaries in puppeteering, redefined how variety shows could operate without a traditional human cast, and drew millions of viewers across all ages. In doing so, it bridged generational gaps like no other show of its kind. The Muppet Show wasn't just trailblazing, it was transcendent. It proved that heart and humor could come from felt and string and still shake the world. The 1970s variety show wasn't just television, it was theater, music, comedy, and rebellion all rolled into one. These 10 trailblazers redefined what it meant to entertain, challenge, and reflect a culture in motion. Their echoes still ripple through our screens today, reminding us that when variety dares, history remembers.